As we look now, South Korea and North Korea are different countries. Before Korea split into two, do you know that the Korean Peninsula is one country under the Joseon dynasty? The kingdom lasted for over 500 years before Japan started to annex Korea in 1910. Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am Noor Amirah binti Noor Eduan. Here I am today to inform you about a tragic historical event that happened with the title Korea, a Land Divided. The division of Korea remains one of the most traumatic tragedies in the world history, especially for the Korean people. To gain control of its new colony, Japan began an all-out battle over Korean culture. Schools and institutions discouraged students from speaking Korean and instead emphasized practical labor and devotion to the emperor. It was also made a felony to teach history using unapproved textbooks, and authorities destroyed over 200,000 Korean historical materials, effectively erasing Korea's historical memory. Korea remained a part of Japan until 1945 before the Japanese Empire started to fall during the World War II. Anyways, I am captivated by the history around the world because I am a history buff. That prompted me to do some research and read lots of articles and ebooks on the history of Korea. The catalyzing incident is the decision that was made really without the Koreans involved between the Soviet Union and the United States to divide Korea into two occupation zones, says Michael Robinson, Professor Emeritus of East Asian Studies and History at Indiana University, who has written extensively on both modern Korea and its history. Now, let us go deeper into what the actual things that happened during the division of Korea. The end of World War II resulted in the independence of numerous Asian countries. Korea was also included as an independent country since it had been colonized by the Japanese Empire for 35 years. Therefore, two allies, the Soviet Union and the United States, divided control over the Korean Peninsula in August 1945 since Korea did not have any great rulers to lead the country. On September 9 of the same year, the 38th parallel was declared the dividing line between the American and Soviet occupation zones, with Japanese troops instructed to surrender to whatever nation was on their side of the parallel. The United Nations established a task force in November 1947 to organize free elections throughout Korea to build a new national government. The Soviet Union, however, refused to allow this task force to operate in its zone north of the 38th parallel, therefore formalizing a division between Free South Korea and Communist North Korea. Therefore, in 1948, two governments were established: the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, North Korea in the north, and the Republic of Korea, South Korea in the south. Now that you already know how they separated into two countries, so let's take a look at how the devastating events happened. Since Korea had divided into two, the Republic of Korea founded its own government in Seoul, led by the anti-communist Syngman Rhee, while the Democratic People's Republic of Korea placed veteran communist rebel Kim Il-sung as its first premier in Pyongyang. Despite being a democratic state, South Korea experienced civil upheaval in 1948. North Korea, which sought to reunify the peninsula under a single government, most certainly received the disturbance as a show of weakness and opportunity to take advantage of. North Korea wanted to militarily capture South Korea and thoroughly unify Korea under the communist rule of North Korea. Northern Korea's troops pushed across the 38th parallel and entered South Korea on June 25, 1950, where the Korean War started to begin. By July, American troops had entered the war on behalf of South Korea. According to American leaders, it was a struggle against the force of worldwide communism itself. The action stopped after some early back and forth over the 38th parallel. Meanwhile, American officials worked feverishly to reach an agreement with the North Koreans. They feared that the alternative would be a bigger battle with Russia and China, or even, as some predicted, World War III. Ultimately, the war ended in July 1950. A demilitarized zone was established in 1953, which replaced the perilous horizontal line with a more meandering course. On July 23, 1953, a ceasefire agreement was signed, although no peace treaty formally ended the war. The Demilitarized Zone, or DMZ, is one of the most highly guarded areas on the planet. In total, around 5 million soldiers and civilians were killed in what many Americans refer as the Forgotten War due to the lack of attention it received in comparison to other well-known conflicts such as World War I and World War II. Until today, the Korean Peninsula remains split. To conclude, Korea's division has had a significant impact on Koreans living on both sides of the border. The two countries' political systems, economies, and cultures are drastically different, resulting in a considerable disparities in the manner of life for Koreans on both sides. South Korea and North Korea can be reunited if there is no intervention between major powers such as the United States and Russia. Hence, there are some matters that they need to figure out before they are reconciled. Firstly, both Koreans must recognize the harm and grief inflicted by previous action. This includes recognizing crimes done during the Korean War, Japan's colonial reign, and other historical events. It is critical to have open and honest discussion about these issues and to work towards understanding each other's points of view. To move forward, it is important to promote communication and understanding among various groups. This involves encouraging cross-border relations between North and South Korea. Cultural exchange, educational programs, and other activities that encourage conversation and understanding can help achieve this. Overall, reconciliation is a lengthy and tough process that necessitates the cooperation of all parties involved. Koreans may begin to construct a more peaceful and prosperous future for themselves and their area by admitting past wrongs, developing dialogue and understanding, promoting mutual respect and tolerance, seeking justice and accountability, and working towards a shared vision for the future. It is such an honor to have this opportunity to share with you guys a historical stories. Thank you so much for watching and listening.